My company just canceled our performance-based bonuses because the executives messed up. 2 years ago my company announced with much excitement that we would be starting a very lucrative partnership with Saudi Arabia. However, we're a fairly progressive company, so this did not go over well with a good portion of the staff. As you would expect, the executives and senior management with dollar signs in their eyes rolled out the usual excuses, such as, if we show them our culture it might improve theirs. The project started despite these misgivings, and a team was set up within our software engineering department to carry out the work. After the first year, it became apparent that the work was much harder than anticipated. Not only that, but rumors started circulating that people working on the project were having a miserable time. To compensate, more and more staff were pulled off their existing work and thrown into this project, some very much against their will. I know multiple people who resigned rather than be forced into this Saudi project. The cracks were starting to form. At this time, my entire team except for me was taken to work on the Saudi project, including my team lead. I was left alone. Weeks before a major release of development work my team had been writing for the past 8 months. Fortunately, I worked my ass off and managed to deliver more or less everything that was needed. I then became the team lead and over the last year managed to reform the team with new joiners, going way above what I ever thought I would be expected to do at this point in my career. Around October of last year it came to light that despite a year and a half of work the contracts for this Saudi project had never been signed. At that point, myself and a few others started commenting that we fully expected Saudi Arabia to just take what we'd taught them and developed so far and run for the hills. I'm not a senior manager or executive. I never have been. But it seemed obvious to me that we were being taken for a ride. In January, the inevitable happened. Our company asked for the contracts to be signed, and the Saudi team turned around and basically said, "Thanks for the 2 years free work." Ironically, many people in the company were happy to be coming back to their old projects, having been massively overworked for up to 2 years. Given everything I've gone through, I'm expecting a very good performance review this year. Given everything people on the project went through, they should also expect very good performance reviews. It's not their fault they got forced to work their butts off only for the rug to be pulled out from under them. Our performance review factors into our annual bonus scheme. However, the pot of money available for bonuses is determined by a set of company-wide targets. These are set by the executives, and despite their insistence that they're controlled by how well we all work together, they're really only achievable if the senior managers run the company effectively. Despite the team working on the Saudi project only being around 5% of our total staff, the executives pinned this project as one of the main company goals. And that's why, on the last days of the financial year, we've heard through rumors that the bonus has been cancelled. Every single staff member from reception to HR to engineer won't get a bonus this year because the senior managers forgot to sign a contract. I bet the executives will still get a bonus. Everything was great except for the last sentence. The senior managers didn't forget anything, and they could give you all the bonuses if they felt like it. They just want an excuse to keep the money instead of giving it to you. They found an excuse that they created by acting a fool. The end. I double majored in econ and international business. Number 1 rule in international business is to sign a contract that is recognized by both countries' courts. This is why you hear so many horror stories coming out of Chinese partnerships. Everyone sees dollar signs and starts salivating trying to get into the Chinese market. But in order to do business there, a Chinese nationalist has to own the division in China. And you have to hand over all of your IPs to that division. Chinese courts will always back their citizens over a foreign entity. Just take a look at the ARM China fiasco. Y'all should quit en masse. If you have access to the company database of employees' email addresses, copy it. Then open a free and anonymous Google Mail account. Create an email much like your post here and call it something like, a detailed breakdown how employees see the current state of the company, and send to everyone. From the cleaning staff to the company executives. No company-paid lawyer was screaming at them to sign the contracts? I have a really hard time believing that's actually what happened. Not saying your story isn't straight, but maybe theirs isn't. How's that resume update going? Get out before your colleagues. Moral of the story. Your progressive coworkers were absolutely right and you should have listened to them. The performance-based end-of-year bonuses got pulled out from under us at my company too this past fall, after a record year and an expansion announced, as well as already meeting the goals lined out by the company. Oops, we expect to make less money next year. Can't give it to you after y'all already worked your butts off to earn it. So how are your resume updates going? My company works with major clients in this region, Saudi and Qatar, and they often are a pain to work with. Work always start before the contracts are signed. Payments are months late, and when they decide to cut you off it's overnight, and any unpaid invoices will remain like that. Also, they never understand the contract and will try to make unscoped items like they were in the contract, and if it's not, it's your fault because you advised them badly. Admin services are a mess. Tons of bureaucracy. Project leads can't push a payment. Accounting will only pay if the very extensive validation process goes through. Sometime we are talking royal family sign-off. And legal has the same kind of process for contracts. The day-to-day work is a pain in the ass for the front-end employees having to work with them directly. And if you try to leverage anything against payment, like we will stop work if you don't pay the invoice from 6 months ago, it's like you are insulting them. And to those who will say I'm racist, most of the people that are located there are actually Occidental expatriates working there for a few years to make good bucks without any tax. My company was sold last year to a new investor. We performed the same as a company. The investor determined we didn't meet their standards, so no bonuses would be paid. So far 2 executives have quit. It's going to get interesting. Everybody will get a subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club. They're going to be really surprised when the whole staff quits over the next 6 months. Start looking for a new job. Gotta be careful trusting the Saudis in matters of business, and human rights for that matter. Cold sweat smile. Betrayal is rough. Sounds like you are smart enough to get your own business going. I wish you luck. 4-leaf clover. I hear ya, man. When my job went corporate a couple years back, rather than raises, we got a bonus plan. But the bonus plan relies on decisions of way upper management and the market. There's really nothing that we can do in our roles to have an effect on whether or not we hit the bonus targets. So, of course, when we chronically fall just shy of said targets and get nothing, get a very small part of what we were sold on originally, there's nothing to do but, okay, better luck next time? Quote, it sucks. Of course, CEOs always win. I knew our CEO would destroy our company when he was hired, because he'd done it before. It only took a Google search to find this out. But once the company was going under and was being sold, he resigned. I worked for a company for about 7 years that distributed a profit-sharing bonus of several $1,000 to all employees at the end of the fiscal year, provided we met our goals. We always did, said it came to be an expectation. Then they sold the company a month or so before we usually got the bonus. The bonus time came and went with quietly, without a single word from the executives, like we would all forget. Finally they told us that they forgot to negotiate the cost of the bonuses in the multiple billion-dollar sale of the company, so we would not be getting them.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.